Hey guys, welcome out to Level Up Your Leadership with me, John Barrett, where I want to share with you visual leadership lessons to help you get better and improve. Now, what I want to talk to you today about is the window and mirror principle. Now, this is something that I believe is super powerful because every leader, whether you're a good leader, a bad leader, an average leader, whatever it is, everybody operates by the window and the mirror principle. Right? And let me share with you what this is, because if we're going to be our best as a leader, we've got to understand how we approach life. Good leaders and bad leaders both use the window and the mirror. They just use it very, very different. And that's what separates them. In fact, what separates great leaders from everybody else, an average leader or even a bad leader, is how they utilize the window and the mirror figuratively when we talk about this. Now, let's kind of talk about this. Let's talk about a really good leader, okay? This really good leader, here's how they use the window and the mirror principle. When things are going good in the organization, here's what a good leader does. They go and they look out the window and they point to the team and they give all the team the credit. They say, good job, guys. You're doing awesome. Keep up the good work. They encourage. They give feedback. They're able to kind of point out the things that they're doing that are so good. And they lift up the team's morale because when things are going really good, they look out the window and they give the team the credit. Now, when things are going bad, here's what a good leader does. When things are going bad, guess what they do? They go and they look in the mirror. And they say, what do I need to do to lead more effectively? That's what a mature leader does. That's what a great leader does. They look in the mirror when things are going bad and they take the responsibility to say, what can I do to make this more successful, for it to be better? Listen, I've never met a highly successful individual that doesn't have a high level of responsibility, personal responsibility. They kind of make statements like, if it's to be, it's up to me. And so they look in the mirror when things are going bad and they make sure that they make the necessary adjustments in order to lead the team more effectively. Now, that doesn't mean that it's always their fault when things are going bad, but they first look in the mirror. They start there. That's what a great leader does. Now, let's talk about what a bad leader does, okay? A bad leader operates from the same principles, but they totally reverse it. They look the other way. And here's what I mean by that. When things are going bad, here's what a bad leader does. They look out the window and they give the team all the blame, right? They look at them and they say, I can't work with these people. I don't have the right people in place. These people are terrible. They're no good. And they give all the blame to the team when things are going bad. And they blame everybody else. They blame everybody else around them. If I just had the right people, if I just had more this and more that, and I just can't put up with so-and-so anymore. And here's what a bad leader does. When things are going good, here's what a bad leader does. They look in the mirror and they go, hey, you're awesome. You're really good. If it wasn't for you, I'll tell you what, this whole place would fall apart. I mean, nobody would know what to do. If I left, they wouldn't even know what hit them. I mean, the whole ship would sink, right? That's what a bad leader does. They look in the mirror and they give themselves all the credit when things are going good. And they start to let ego and pride and all that junk that begins to limit their effectiveness and break down their influence. It keeps them from doing what they need to do. So which one is it? Are you a good leader, a great leader, or a bad leader? What do you do when things are going bad? Do you look in the mirror and kind of take responsibility and say, what can I do to lead more effectively? Or do you point at the team and kind of give blame to everybody else? Listen, you want to know that you've got a great leader. If you're leading a team, you want to know if you've got a great leader on your team, someone that needs to rise up. Look at how they respond to failure. When things go bad, what do? Do they look in the mirror and say, you know what, I could have done that better? You know what, now that I reflect on that, I think there's some things that I could have done where I could have adjusted. I could have communicated a little bit better to the team. I could have taken some more responsibility for that. Or do they do the other thing? When things are going bad, do they kind of give blame to everybody else? Well, I didn't have the right team. I mean, I told them what to do, but I don't know. They just don't know how to listen. They don't. Blah 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 blah. Right? I mean, they make excuses. Listen, I think it was Peter Drucker years ago that said you can make progress or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. I mean, which one is it going to be? So I want to ask you, number one, how are you living? As a great leader or a bad leader? Are you giving the team all the credit when things are going good, looking out the window? And when things are going bad, look in the mirror? Or do you find yourself looking in the mirror and kind of getting a little bit more prideful, egotistical? And when things are going bad, do you blame everybody else and all the misfortunes around you? So which one? The window and the mirror principle. Listen, if you will start to look in the mirror, if you'll start to give credit to the team and encouragement, you are going to rise up in your leadership influence. You're going to do incredible things. So listen, I want to help you with that. If you go to johnbarrettleadership.com, go check out all the resources I've got there to help you be a great leader so that you're one that takes responsibility and does great things, so that you can begin to lift your influence and your impact and even become more valuable with your income because you are an MVP for your organization and to those around you. Guys, you are awesome. I'm rooting for you. I'm behind you. Go to johnbarrettleadership.com. Go check out all the resources there, and we'll see you next time. Reach out to us today so we can help take you and your team to the next level.